afternoon, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Undercover ET UK. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the USA. We've got sightings now in Minnesota. This saga continues, folks. I'll tell you what, this is disclosure happening. It's got to be. There's so much going on, folks. We're going to try and stay on top of it. We've got footage coming out of Australia yet again and the UK. Daily sightings. And I tell you what, the footage in Australia is extra special, folks. They're getting closer. They're getting closer, and I don't accept it. We need answers. We need the secrets to come out. We need the government officials to jump on this. We need the money to go in the right places. We need to stop the war. We need the footage to come in, folks, and it needs to be analysed properly. And guess what? We can do that right now because I got monetised yesterday, and that's all thanks to you guys, honestly. Like, you guys have thrown your support at me. The comments are just unwavering. Like, you go through the comments, folks, there's tons and tons of comments, and 99% of them are positive. I'm totally overwhelmed, and big thanks to you. Also, pat on the backs to you because you're bringing in the footage. Okay, yeah, I'm doing the analysation, all right, but without you guys actually taking the time to go and take that footage and then send it to me, without that, I'm nothing. I'll just be another YouTuber pulling footage off the internet and trying to make ends of it. And we're not doing that, folks. And also we've got a huge platform as well, which is the Facebook group, and it's growing. Why is it huge? It's only got 288 members. That's not why it's huge. It's huge because what goes on in this group is important, folks. It's important, and it's growing slowly. I remember when I first started this, we had like 25 people in there, then 40, then 60, then 8, and look, it's just going up and up. And of course it's free to join, it's free to subscribe to the channel, and it's free to be on the group as well. So get involved, do some research, folks. It's well managed. I'm keeping on top of it. If you stay respectful and you want to learn a little bit about the UAP phenomena, take everything you see with a pinch of salt. But I promise you, if it's been posted on this group, it's because it's decent. And anyone who decides to try and post fake stuff on there, it just get removed. So yeah, and I'll give you my honest opinion on all of it. So, you know, like I say, try and be serious because if you're not serious, it won't last very long. It's a great group full of really credible people, folks, and these folks have made the channel time and time again, and we're going to show you a good example of that today. But before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, like and comment and share on these things because these are real and they're getting really close to us, and I'm going to show you after this interview now exactly what I mean. Folks, this is Minnesota. This is from Fox 9. And it's just getting out of hand now. Okay, it's the scale in which the sightings are happening on the same nights is truly ridiculous. And the fact that officials are saying, look, we don't know what they are. This is disclosure. It's got to be, folks. It's got to be. Let's have a listen.
Well, this is an interesting story. People in Northfield keep seeing mysterious lights in the nighttime sky. The sightings come as people on the East Coast report seeing large drones that they can't explain.
And the East Coast sightings now have the FBI's attention, with the White House even chiming in. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni spoke with eyewitnesses in Northfield tonight. And Mike, they're not sure what they're looking at.
Yeah, but they say what they're seeing is similar, maybe not the same, but similar to what people are seeing in New York, in New Jersey. Here's one video here where you can kind of see one or two orbs kind of hovering, floating around. At times they move, eventually disappear. What are they? No one knows.
We started trying to follow them, but they won't be followed. They're kind of like they disappear.
Deborah Wagner doesn't know what she keeps seeing over her Northfield home.
And then these things, whenever anybody would kind of come towards them, they'd back off.
But her daughter, Chrissy Grady, sees them too.
Are these UFOs? Are they a government thing? Like, what are they?
It's really low.
I know it is.
We gotta follow it. There's another one up there.
Oh, crap.
Chrissy and her kids took this video when they saw flashing lights that moved away after they spotted them.
Well, it obviously sees me. I gotta pretend like I'm actually driving. Watched both of them. So now there's 4.
They started seeing the lights over the summer, and now it's a nightly thing.
They would come and kind of like hover, and then we would go outside, and then they would leave.
About 1,000 miles away in New York and New Jersey, this is what people are seeing in the skies. Eyewitnesses say they look like SUV-sized drones, and those sightings now have even the White House's attention.
Obviously, this is something that DHS and FBI are tracking very, very closely.
Well, I don't want it to come closer.
As for what Chrissy and her mother Deborah keep seeing here in Minnesota, well, they don't know.
Right now.
They don't know. If they don't know, and the government don't know, and the military don't know, then guess what? It's unknown. It's unknown. It's an unknown phenomena happening on a massive scale, and I think we're at this point now where we don't need. They're making it obvious to us, okay, by being up in the sky, whatever these things are, okay, and they've been doing it for years and years and years, and now it's more prevalent, right? We're getting onto that at this point. But what the public seems to be ignoring, and not you guys, but the vast majority of people that are just learning about this now, is that these things are getting incredibly close to us, and close to our homes, or in some cases inside our homes, folks. Inside our homes. Oh, listen, I had Maggie on the phone this morning, right? She called me up. Hey Rob, how you? I love our phone calls, right? I love our catch ups. They're brilliant. And we had a catch up, all right. And Maggie just casually turns around and says, "So I was filming this morning and I caught one go right past my hand." You what? Go right past your hand? And anyway, there's two videos we're going to go over. Before we get into it, we're going to start off with Gavla. Okay, so yeah, Norfolk taken. I don't know when these were taken, Gav. You keep going back through your old ones and sending them to me, but this year anyway. And probably in the summer by the looks of it. Lovely sky out there. And I think it's at 1 minute and 8 seconds now. Yeah, and this is the one that I showed the enhancements of yesterday. Look at this. Look at the plasma coming off of this thing. You know. You see it in real time, folks, and it's quick. And it's way up there. It's way up there. You know, a lot of people go, well, it's just a little way from the lens, and you know, it's clearly a bug, Rob. But do your research, watch the video I put out on the 10th of this month, and it will all make sense, folks. It will all make sense. And what I'm about to show you in Australia also, it's undeniable, at the same time unexplainable, right? So let's go on to another one of Gavin's. This one's a bit harder to sort out because we're getting very brief moments of stuff, and you can see the birds in the background are really hard to sort of make out. So again, 19 seconds, it's coming up, and I may just have to go to the other player here. But we get a quick flash of something come over here on the right hand side, and I know that could be a bug, right? Even though it moves mega quick, and the way we're seeing these things tag phones and stuff, anything at this point has to be looked at. And Gavin's filmed so many credible sightings this year, so that's one aspect, okay. But also, as this thing happens, it looks like something pops up here. And you see that movement. And this is where we need to go to the other player, I think, because this one needs a little bit more attention. It happens in the moment that Gavin gets that orby looking out of focus thing in front of his camera. And that makes me question if this is actually an orb. You know, or if we're seeing something over here. Now let's work out where this... Right, you're there. You're down there. I got you. You only show for a brief moment. That's the problem. It's there. It's because it's so low down. I have to look like a... See how the two could crisscross? And it looks like it just goes back into the ocean now. I know it's really hard to tell from here. That's a bird, right? That's a bird. And then look at that thing. I know it's only a little dot, but look at the movement on it. And that's way out there, folks. That's way out there. Whoa. Look, it flies up, goes round, and then comes closer to the camera, look. Well, that's the one that passes. But this one's still going. Jesus. Okay, I don't know if it swoops up by the camera. I think that one just dips into the ocean, that smaller one, yeah. Just dips into the ocean whilst this other one passes in front of the camera. And again, don't know whether this other one that passes in front of the camera is an actual bug, but they're both moving fast, doing the same similar movement. But this one's definitely further out. I don't think you would capture a bug that far out, Gav. Look at them. Look at that. It's that vroom, and then into the water it goes. How do I know it's into the water? Because look, you can see the water line there, and it's back here and it just dives in. Interesting one, Gav. Interesting, mate, and a bit controversial because that one close to the lens could be a bug, and that one far out could be a bug, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, mate. You've caught so many going in and out of the ocean now. I have to look at it, mate. So yeah, right. Okay, should we get onto this crazy footage from Maggie, and then we'll go on to Ben at the end. Right, where do we even start? Okay, let's start with this one. Now, I've run this through a generator to try and smooth it out, because where it's sunny, the camera just doesn't like it. I don't know what they've done to your camera, but when it's sunny, we get this pixelation, and you'll see in the next video when it's cloudy, it's clear as you like. So Maggie seems to think it starts up here somewhere, this object. You can't see it yet, by the way. It's coming into view in a second, right now-ish. It starts from up here. It definitely comes from behind the tree. We're going to see it in a second. This is already slowed down, folks. And we've had to do it like this because they move so fast. So look, you saw that, and look, and then boom. Now it appears here and then shoots out here, folks. I'll just play it again in real time. But this isn't real time. This is slowed down already. But it's just so that you've got any chance of seeing it, right? Now, you can see it. You can see it's there, clear as you like. You know, I just had it there. Look. So if we go back to here and we just slow it right down. I mean, right down. There, it's underneath the porch and flies out. Look, folks, is that not our Dragon UAP that Maggie sees all the time? Look at it. That's just incredible to me. Look at it. It's just moving so fast. I'm labelling this up as a dragon because that's what I believe it is, and it's just incredible speed. The next video is mad because the next video is Maggie trying to place her phone down. And she doesn't even get a chance because this thing tags her just like that. And that's what I was talking about with the frequencies your mobile phones may be putting out. They instantly go for them, instantly. And it really is incredible. Look at this thing. So Maggie slowed this down, and I've slowed this down just to get an idea of it, folks. That's just, look how close they're getting. Like, And Maggie says that she feels like these things have gone into her house. She's opened the door and they've just zipped past. Right? And now this is kind of proof that they really are getting close to the houses. Look, folks, it's under the porch. It swoops through the air extremely fast under the porch and then zips out. And you know what? When you sent me the video, Maggie, it's come out like this. I'm not too sure why. So these are the photos from Maggie's clip that she sent me, and she's done an awesome job here. Look, you can see where it starts off. You can see where it's going towards the roof. You can see where it's under the porch. And folks, look at the plasma jet on that. Look at the plasma jet on it coming off of it. This is right underneath her roof, and it's zipping past so fast. So fast. I don't know what would happen if you stuck a concrete block in front of it. Would it smash through it? I don't know. Go through it? No idea. But that's stupid, isn't it? That is stupid. Look, clearly the whiteness underneath this thing. You know, the sheer speed of it. And it's right into the home, folks. It's right into the home. Look. And there it is as it's leaving. I've just shown you that, and then the clip at the end. Let's keep going. Let's move on to this one. And this is the one where she was just putting the video, she was just placing her phone down, and her hand actually goes over the camera lens as she places it. And it's like she's pointing at the thing. It's incredible. I'm going to watch the rest. I don't think I even watched the rest. I tell you what, Maggie, they love your phone. Look at that speed of that thing. This is already slowed down, folks. There it is, just much higher up in the sky than where it was when it first tagged you. You know? Let's go back over that start again. Look at that thing. Super, super quick. Really, really good capture, Maggie. Now you can see why I was calling it Dragon from the start, because to me that's a Dragon UAP. Look at that. Pitch perfect. You know what? I'm including your thumb in that. Because that's just mad. What? Maggie, that's not zipped in. That's underneath your roof. That's not come over the top of it. That's come from underneath it. Do you see that? That's just sneaky. Tch. That comes from underneath your roof. And it's way too big to be a bug. I know, like, people are, look at the wings on it. Look, they're not wings. It's too fast to move like a bug. It's too big to be a bug. Look at that. You know, you change the contrast, take away the plasma, and look at that. Oh, let's go. Oh, loving that. Getting a bit of colour either side there. That's crazy. Let's see what we can do if I mess with the contrast a little bit. Does it brighten that bottom up anymore? A little bit more there. just so that we're clear, folks, this is coming out of Maggie's porch. And this is why we need to ask questions, folks, because look, they're right in our personal space right now. They're in our personal space. Undetected. Well, not anymore, because Detective Maggie's on the case. Everyone give Maggie a round of applause, because she is the UFO lady of Australia right now, let me tell you. She is capturing these things daily. They love her to pieces. Look at this thing. And that's crazy, because the plasma jets actually do come off looking like how it would on a bug. The only problem we have now is, not only is it moving too fast, but look at the size of it. Look at the size of it in comparison to the roof. That ain't no bug. It's like bigger than my fist. You know, easily. There's no chance. No chance. And to see it all the time. All the time. Bizarre. Let's go back to regular speed. Keep the sky white here for a second. Look at that. Everything you see zipping through. Whoa. It's just come back. You're joking. You're joking. It's like your little familiar pet. What's going on? That's so quick. And this was sent to me slowed down, folks. So again, I'll slow it down even further now to capture this thing. It's just not possible, folks. Look, anyone can go outside when it's warm, film a bug and slow it down, and you'll see every bit of movement. But to have to slow it down times 200% or whatever it is, whatever this is at, it's incredibly slow. You know, so what Maggie's done is she's recorded it, she slowed it down on her phone and sent the file to me, slowed down already, and now I've slowed it down to the max on here. So you guys do the calculation. Like I say, I'm no mathematician or scientist. I can just give you my critical thinking mind, and I can give you my critical analysation, and that's all I'm good for. That's all I'm good for. Maybe the odd stupid comment. Look at that. Bug my ass. It zips back again. Maybe that was the same object. I tell you what, folks, it doesn't matter. Maggie's just constant. Every other day, video done. Same old, predictable at this point. I think they're after the mobile phones. There it is again. I think they're after the mobile phone signatures. Why? Don't know. What they can do with that? Don't know. Access information, maybe? Who knows? They're probably listening to us, probably watching us. And they fly around very intelligently. They avoid objects. They avoid detection as best as they can. And we're dealing with something of a much higher power, folks. That is clear. All right, Maggie, let's do it. Let's find out exactly what we've managed to capture today. So that's one of the images. I think that was just above the roof towards the end where it skinnied out before it got quite fat and then left the screen. There's that one right at the end, like I said, where it just got fat and left the screen. It's just about to leave. Look at that. That's what zipped underneath your roof, Maggie. That's the one of the clearer image of, look at that, look at it, look at the bullet on it, the plasma surrounding it, and then look, it's trying to jet it out like it's a wing. It's incredible mimicry, incredible. And I'm sure they could just fly around without this going on. They do this purposely, folks. Look at it. Pitch perfect. Pitch perfect, and way too big to be anything else. Way too fast to be anything else, folks. That was it with the contrast change, that we couldn't see the sky or the plasma. Like I said, it's got that shoe look again, hasn't it? Strange moment where this thing was going through. Mechanical, alive, who knows, folks, who knows. Look at this thing. Look, coming in from underneath the roof. Right, they're flying in from the house. I know it's set up like wings, but these things are clever. They're clever. The mimicry is awesome, but look at the size of this thing compared to the roof here. It's the size of a brick. You're telling me that's a fly? Come off it. Come off it, folks. Anyone who's with me now, if it's undeniable, isn't it, at this point? Radio frequencies coming off. These things are huge, absolutely huge in size. Seeing them all over the world. And this is Australia, we see them all over the world, folks. Look at that. And we need to work this out. We need to work this out. We need to work out what's going on. Thank you very much, Maggie. I hope you enjoyed those. That's just amazing. That's an amazing picture right there. And it deserves some attention, honestly. The fact that they can get this close to us shouldn't be accepted. Shouldn't be accepted. Right. Let's move on to Ben's, who's become a complete addict at this now. He's here in a helicopter and he's jumping at that window, and you know what, mate, fair play. Let's do humanity a favour and let's get this out there, folks. So that means liking, subscribing, sharing not only the channel but sharing your evidence with me. That's the most important thing, folks. Getting on Facebook, sharing your evidence with me. That's what's going to keep us going, and over the next year it's going to get really interesting. So what I would say to that, folks, is membership starting in the new year. Get involved if you can. We're going to have some discussions in the membership forums about these things, where they could potentially come from, how many different objects have been seen. If anyone's wondering what's going on, folks, Ben said that there was an orb here, and there is, right at the start of the video. I can see something here in the sky, and it's very vague. Disappears and reappears, and at first look, Ben, I thought, well, if it's a plane really far out there in the distance, that will happen. It will happen. But it reappears at the end, I think, which is odd. There it is. And like you can say, it disappears through the cloud again. There's no real cloud here where we're seeing here. So why it disappears, I don't know. And I was thinking maybe it moves further away, but then it reappears here and then disappears through the cloud. So should we just take a little closer look at that on the other player and see where we get? Because that's really interesting. I'm not entirely sure yet until I deep dive it. And I haven't done that yet because I wanted to do it on the fly for you. Just so that you can get my true reaction on it and we can try and work out what this thing is. So that's the object in question, yeah? This is what we was talking about here. Is it a bird? No, it's moving too slow and steady to be a bird for me. The fact that it's now gone. Whoa, dragon. Dragon. Didn't see that before, but we see it now. Look at that. It is just going in a straight line, folks, but the camera's bent around 360, so this is what it does. Cracking dragon. Where's Mr. Orb? Was it this cloud here that it reappears from? We'll find out in a minute. We'll also see if there's any more dragons that zip through. Or it might have been this one, in fact. My bad. Yes, it's this one. Right. Now we know where it is. Whoa. What? Here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. Now it looks at the start like it disappears off into the cloud. But it reappears where there's no cloud. So clearly it vanished and just came into visual without there being any cloud. Now it looks like it's disappeared because it's approach cloud, right? Fine, but the first bit's unexplainable. Look, completely gone in a cloud cluster that's not even really that dense. And some would argue, well, it's still cloud, Rob. Well, how come it reappears in the most densest part of the cloud quite easily and then disappears again? It could be going through thicker parts and thinner parts of the cloud, but that doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't add up, folks. Not only that, there's Dragon UAP going through the sky in the moment as well. So, it doesn't make sense to me. It's not a plane. I don't think it's a plane. I don't think it's a bird. Definitely something hiding up in them clouds, buddy. I really feel that's the case in this capture. And there are other things zipping through the skies as well, which it all adds up, doesn't it? In the end, it all adds up to a sighting. What's that? Oh, okay. They must be clouds just lit up from the it must be clouds just lit up from the sun there. Okay. Yeah, brilliant. Right, moving on to the next and last video of the day, and this is another one from Ben. So another part of his building. Lovely clear sky. We've already had something zip through there, folks. Top of the screen here. Super fast. I'll slow it down in a minute, but there is something. I think, Ben, it's pretty much guaranteed every time something flies over this part of Melbourne, you're going to capture something. Almost guaranteed every time. I think if you filmed outside without the helicopters, you'd probably still capture something zipping through on its way to another target. I honestly believe that, and this is no different. Although I'm going to have to go into my other player to give any kind of example here of what you're filming. Right, so being zoomed in on the helicopter helps because we're capturing the centre of the. You can see that the stuff we didn't see before, we're now seeing where we're just zoomed right in, folks. And this is just zoom in straight across the sky, extremely fast, way out there as well, which is why it's smaller. But you can see it's got a metallic shine to it, clear hockey puck. See it time and time again. Another one, and I think that's the one I pointed out. Two, another one here as well. You got one here, and they're doing that whole crisscross thing. I'm sure I do that every other week, or every week at some stage on my videos. I mention the crisscross thing, so there's one. Too much going on, man. Look at that. Bit of plasma. See the white plasma, folks? This is important because this is what I'm saying. You've got to connect the dots quite literally, in a sense that when you see something in your garden, like Maggie saw coming out of her roof porch, and it's got that plasma coming off the back of it, or the front of it, or the sides, wherever it's coming off from, you've only got to then look at the speed to determine whether these things are what they are. And anyone with a bit of sunshine, go outside, film a bug, look at it on your PC on a big screen, and you'll see the difference. Slow it down even. You'll see the difference, folks. I promise you. Look at that. I'm going to take it. It's on the bend, so it's not ideal, but I'm going to take it. Really, really cool. Right, let's just play the video on now. Another one. Boom. See how many we get here. You know, considering I couldn't even see anything in the clip at the start. And now all these little flashes that we're getting through, you know. Another one. Or was that a bug? It's just too quick, isn't it? This is really far away, folks, now, so this has got to be. Yeah. Bit of plasma coming off the end there. Seriously, mate. Seriously. One day you're going to capture something mega awesome and you're not even going to realise what you've just done. I just took the one from yours, Ben, because it was we had to zoom in a lot and the camera bends, but check that out. Check that out. That is awesome, and that's worthy of another enhancement, I think. Look at that. Let's take it from there. Here we go, final product. What have we got? Boom. Marvellous. Marvellous. Now, whether, like I say, whether this object is the actual object underneath and the plasma's just surrounding it, I don't know, but that's really, really cool. And it's all part of the same gig, folks. It's all part of the same thing. That looks amazing. I'm going to take it. Thank you very much, Ben, Maggie, Gavin, and everyone, as always. Join the Facebook group, Undercover ET UK, UFO/UAP Evidence. Join it, stay respectful, get uploading, and please, as always, like and subscribe to the channel. Absolutely free to do so. Support the public, support me, support Disclosure, folks. Thank you very much, take care, all the best, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.